Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we are going to be jumping in to making a watermelon / pumpkin farm and using a conveyor belt system to pipe it into our storage room. So I hope you guys are ready. So today, guys, it's going to be all about farms. We are going to be working on getting a farming system set up. As you can see, I've been clearing some stuff out here. I want to get a pumpkin and a watermelon farm that is all automated and then actually flows and lands into a hopper that will disperse this between a couple chests, or 3 chests, because usually these farms do produce quite a bit of items, and that way we'll have a nice a nice source of food, and also some decoration blocks if we decide to use them as decoration down the road, in which we totally could. So in order to do that, I need to clear out a little area. And then also I need to go over here and sort of get a tunnel made. Now, what I'm going to do is actually use a water piping system. We're going to use water to flow our items into these storage chests over here. So these particular storage chests right here is actually going to be lined with hoppers. And on that top hopper right here is where we want the water to push the items to. So we want there to be a item drop off like right here. And we should be able to achieve that very easy. We might even be able to have the water run directly to that. So if we hop in here and we grab a few things, I think I have some chests just laying about. We can actually go ahead and get those hoppers set up. But the actual automation of the crop itself using redstone is so simple. We're going to be using observers today. It's just another example of how observers work, and yeah, it's going to be a pretty good example. So we're going to go ahead and get our hoppers set up. So what we're going to do is put hoppers here, here, and here. And on this top hopper, if this chest is full and this hopper starts to fill up, what's going to happen is the items are going to go in here. So for example, it's going to go in here, and they're actually going to drop down and keep dropping down until that bottom chest is full. Then this hopper will fill up. Then there will be nowhere for this one to go. So then it'll start putting it inside these chests and sort of splitting them up, which is what you should see here. So this will allow us to be able to fill all those chests up with items. All right, so we're gonna need to make ourselves a pretty decent tunnel space here. And to do that, we can go ahead and set this and just start working our way over. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and start working it this way. And I know that we should eventually come out here. So I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So right here, we definitely know that we need to go up a block. So right here will be a water source. And water travels 8 blocks. So we know that it'll end right here on this block, dumping all of its items right there. So that means we need to go up a block, and we should be getting to the point now where we are getting out of here. Yes, perfect. Which is exactly what we want. So now that we know where our stuff is coming from, ooh, nice little pumpkin just for our viewing pleasure. We can sort of calculate how we're going to set this up and how it needs to flow, because we do need height on this thing. So we do need the ability for it to travel down. Because we don't have any packed ice. Otherwise, we could just make a nice strip and just have it go. But for right now, we're kind of stuck at this level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And right here is 8. And you go one more. There we go. Awesome. And we're probably going to have to build something that takes us this direction. And we're just going to have to build up on the edges here. And also sort of covering this up as well. There is a skeleton up here. Don't you know it's daytime? But anyways, so yeah, we'll have this built up. I'm going to use another block. I'm going to come back and get that fixed. I'm more focused on getting this piping system set up. All right. So right here, I sort of want to have this covered for the most part. So what we might do is I'll build over where this water system is setting. But for right now, we do know this is continuing down. So we need to make sure this is 8 more blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. Perfect. And now we should be able to take it this way. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we know right here needs to be a block. Same for all this. This needs to be blocked in. And so on. Right? Alright, so our farm is actually going to be over here. So we should be fine with this at this point. What I'm probably going to do though is go 1, 2, 3, because I want to have a farm that is slightly sticking out this direction. So let's sort of get this set up. I'm going to have a crop here, crop here, crop here, crop here. The water is going to flow here. And it's going to be a 2 wide gap that we're going to flow water. And then on the side, we're going to have the water flow this way then. So we're going to have it flow this way. And thus we can stop it here. Have it turn and use a sign on this block to keep the water from pushing the things too far. Perfect. All right, so to put this into example, let's go ahead and go. I'm going to go ahead and get some of the materials prepped for this farm, and then we're going to build it up together. Now I should have just about everything ready to go, and we should be able to start getting this this farm up and running. So what we're going to do is on this side, we're going to have pumpkins or melons, and then we're just going to kind of separate the two. So I have some observers, I have some dirt. I put the dirt here because I'm just using it to sort of decorate the area and kind of fill in some holes and gaps and things like that to kind of make this area look a little bit nicer. Because we're probably going to be covering most of this just to make it look a little bit better. The reason I'm going with a 2 wide gap is that's going to allow for most of the melons to be placed in the water and so that way we don't have melons getting overshot. There will be a couple of melons that will get stuck maybe on the edge and things like that, but I'm not too worried about those. So let's go ahead and get this figured out. We are going to need a place for water, and if I'm looking here, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am going to need to space this out a little bit more. And in the back here, we're going to have to make sure we set this up so that way these are going to be positioned, and I think right here is the perfect place to put a water source. Well, technically, I guess we'll have water in here, so I don't even know if that matters. Let's go ahead and see. I currently do not have a hoe yet, but we can go ahead and get one so that way we can get them growing. I am going to need my crops to go ahead and get grown up. So we are probably going to need some bone meal, probably a good amount of it. And we're also going to, I don't know, did bone can't go in there. That'd be nice if bone could go in there. And give us like extra bone meal using it on a saw. All right, so we're gonna need a hoe. I should have one laying around here somewhere. There we go. And we're gonna get this put back together. And now this is gonna be a really interesting farm with the water flowing. Of course, I'm not gonna use cobblestone. I have a good thing that I want to try out here in a second. But let's go ahead and get this going. We have our water sources here that are going to go like this. And of course, right now these are going to stop. But you see how this right here sort of flows, but this side doesn't? That's because we're going to have this drop down. And I might need to move this over a little bit so that way it drops down here and we funnel it this way. I think that's probably going to be the best way to do this. So let's go ahead and extend that out to there. There we go. And let's go ahead and get our hoe. And we're going to get this all placed in. So we're going to have a piston that is going to go here. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3. And... or do I want it to go the other way around? And give it dirt spots to grow. I think potentially right. That should be fine. Could have 1, 2, 3. We might go with just 3. Yeah, 3 will be fine. All right, and we'll place like melons and pumpkins on one side. Melons on this side. And we'll see if we can't get these guys to grow to their full size. There we go. Perfect. All right, so now that we have this up and running, some spots that are going to need to change, and we're going to need to place an observer. I believe the observer places this way on the back side of the stalks. And the reason we're going to do that is because in 1.13, I believe it was 1.13, they added the ability for you to use observers on the back side of the stalks, and that way the stalks themselves give off the pulse whenever it has been updated. So there we go. And that should work very nice. And then what we need to get set up is our pistons that are going to push all of the good stuff off of here, all of the lovely blocks. So let's go ahead and place, actually that's where the pistons need to go. I need to place a block behind it so we have something to place it on. There we go. And same for this back here. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the pistons. And our pistons can go just like this. And right here. Perfect. Alright, and last but not least, we need to get our redstone going to this. And that should be just as easy as setting this up. Now, we may not use dirt for the back here. That may change. But we are going to need to use some redstone. And we fill the back here with a line of redstone. And now when one of these update, say, let's remove this. That should extend, and you see it pushes that. The reason that extended is because this actually changed. Whenever this stalk receives an update, this will automatically push, and it will send it out to here. Awesome. So that means we need to drop down and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it'll drop down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And right here, I'm thinking about changing this up a bit. We might want to shorten this up. Trying to think of the best way to do this, because the only other thing we could do is to line this up a little bit different so that way the water feeds out. But the problem is the water doesn't like to feed properly if we do that. All right, let's go down and get some more water, and I'm probably going to create me a water source up there just so I have a nice little bit of water. There we go. I mean, these are just some nice, simple farms that we can set up. But the fun part, I think, is covering them up and decorating them, making them look like they're not exactly there. All right, so let's get a little infinite water source going here. So we place water here. And I'm going to actually use trapdoors for this. And so what I can do is actually set some trapdoors. We go ahead and break those. And I'm going to use a trapdoor type of funnel. I think that'll look pretty good. Just like that. Looky there. Alright, so I did break torch. And I'm probably going to need to sleep here in a second. But yeah, that is looking good, and that puts it exactly where it should be. Which is right there. And then that should drop down, and we should go ahead and get ourselves some more of these set up. And this is going to push it to here. Now, we're going to have an issue because we only have one block space that we need the water to flow. And the only way to stop the water is potentially just using signs. So I'm going to go ahead and sleep and get some signs. And that way we can start start getting this thing set up. On this water stream over here, I think using a sign is probably going to be the best way to funnel these items. And it should flow in this direction, given that we make sure of that by having the water start this direction. And I'm going to need some sort of block right here. And so we can start our water flow this direction. It's going to want to flow this way, but we're going to see once we get our water placed in here on this side, it should change. Hopefully. Okay. So we're going to see. We're going to be messing around with water here. Alright, it kind of looks like maybe the water flows, so the items are going to go. And yes, okay, so they're going to get pushed that way. So this does work. Now, can we make this smaller, like putting it here? Is that still going to... So it does not. So if we do that, it being that close, it does not work. And then of course, if it's like this, you see it's going to get stuck here. Okay. So having a little bit of a funnel going this way does work. Yes, like that. So if we place it here again, you can see it goes through and then gets shuffled over here until it finally lands there. Awesome. So we sort of have a water funnel going. We should start seeing some melons flow through here now. Okay. So I just seen it did get caught here. I mean, that one made it. I almost wonder if I bring this back a few more. So if I bring this back all the way back here. Then it definitely doesn't get caught as bad. Okay. So I like that. I think that's going to work a lot better. Oh yeah, that definitely works. So let's drop it all the way from over here. And it lands down here. In which we can set this up with probably some dirt. And I'm going to go ahead and probably remove most of this cobblestone. This cobblestone's got to get replaced anyways. So might as well do it now. Let's go ahead and remove most of this. And again, we're going to use the pipe that we were working with. Except for grass. For most of this, we can set grass up. But if I can use the trapdoors, I'm going to use the trapdoors. I think they look way better. I'll go ahead and place it down here. And I believe this is the one that was set up. All right. So those can sit set like that. Oh yeah. This is going to be pretty cool looking once it's all said and done. All right. And this one can funnel along. And it's going to do the exact same sort of thing over this way. Let's see. We should have a lot more trapdoors. Just like that. Alright, so this is the other issue that I'm going to be running into. I believe this should be a block down. That should be a block. Oh, we're actually going to run into a little bit of an issue. Just a tiny bit of an issue. You know what? I could actually, instead of using water here, I could just leave it like that. That's where I'm getting the issue. Technically, there should be a block here, right? Oh, yeah. There's definitely an issue going on there. Okay. We'll fill that in. That's leading. I could just... You know what? I could probably easily fix that. Instead of doing what I'm doing, I can just use 2 hoppers, or use 1 more hopper, and that will get me to where I need to be. That sounds like a decent trade-off. I should have some chests on me, actually. There we go. And we'll make hopper. And that will just extend around. So it does seem like it's going to work, and it's going to work pretty good. This is going to head here. Then what we'll do is we'll place a bucket of water here. And that will lead right here, in which that will push items directly into this hopper. And then we have a little bit of failsafe. If they're going really fast, they should hit at least one of those hoppers. And we should be good. And then I can go ahead and close this in. That actually might need to be open. There we go. And hopefully we don't get items clogged up in here. That is what I don't want to see. Alright, and we can go ahead and get these capped off. And they look like pipes, which is the coolest part. And for this section, sort of do the same thing. Alright, so this one, of course, is getting stopped up here. But that's because we need that water. Look at that. Alright, and capping these off. Shouldn't be too hard. I do not want it to do this, though. There still needs to be like a little bit of room on the top. Alright. Just like that. And I think this is almost completely done. We just lead our pipe just like this. I'm going to put a certain block here. But other than that, this is going to work just fine. I'm loving this so far. And that will carry over, and there we go. Alright. So now that we have that done, only one more section to sort of cover, and that's this place. And there we go. We're golden. This one we can set here. And then this corner piece, I will place my own block there. Alright. And let's see what we can't place there. Probably a fence would work. I wonder. I do need some more jungle log. We do have a lot of dirt on us. That's to be expected. Take some jungle log. And then we should be just about ready to go. So I'm going to take some jungle stairs, and this is what I'm going to use to cover some of those pipe pieces. But other than that, we have a piping system that leads exactly where we want it to go. All right, let's go ahead and place that here, and then right here, I'll place that. That can go there. And same for this one. And there is our piping system that leads all the way over here. Nice and beautiful. Now for these corner pieces, what would be a good thing to do? I mean, we could... I wish I could force it to be cornered, but you can't. So the only thing that I can think to do... Yeah, you can't really do much there. It's just to put a solid block in there. Put a solid block and maybe cap it. Like this. And that looks decent. There we go. Well, there's our piping system, and this right here is our current crop. Now, yes, it isn't working that great because we do need to kind of block some of this area up. And that's what we're going to work on next. So now we need to design and kind of situate and figure out how we're going to get this thing to look. And for this, I guess we can go ahead and start with some stone brick mixing. So we can go ahead and add this here. I do want to make the back end here kind of closed. And same for this. Sort of have this raised. And right here. Perfect. Now on this side, I am going to put some glass. Just on like these couple layers. And we're just going to sort of build this thing up. Just like that. And I might be able to do the same thing on this side. Let's see. Yeah, we should easily be able to do that. And then we'll put glass there. I don't have the glass on me yet, but we can go ahead and get the cobblestone ready. There we go. And then from there, what we can do is actually just build sort of a house on top of this. Which I think will work just fine. Now, we do need to keep in mind, you do not place anything above these stalks or they will not grow. That is a big no-no when it comes to these this type of crop. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so I have just about everything on me. I was going to make sure, or going to see if I have a little bit of wood. There we go. I can just make a crafting table real quick. And then we can make... Actually, this... Make a few of these fences. I think this would look really good. Lift it up, sort of having a raised roof on it. I think we can make it just a little bit more. And then putting the roof on top of this. So it's sort of aired out and has a nice open feel to it. Because there's really no need for us to get in here. But being able to see it from the outside is just something that needs to be here. Almost looking like a jungle monument that is sort of covered up. And then we're going to, of course, add some grass and make it look all nice and foliaged up. I think it'd be a pretty nice setup. Well, guys, after a nice mixture of blocks and leaves, I think this is looking pretty snazzy. And as you can see, it is working perfectly. I went ahead and switched this out with glass panes. And then I went ahead and added some fence, some iron bars around here. And the roof is just, sort of just, sticking out a little bit. And I went ahead and went with this log and fence to make it look a little bit more snazzy. And I think it looks really good with this, this texture. So I have cobblestone here, and then I went ahead and added the fence there, and it gives it a little bit more detail, I think, and a little bit more depth, and just makes it look just more 3D. And that's what this is all about. And the iron bars is just there to protect the good old redstone. And I think it's looking pretty good so far. So, guys, let me know what you think about this water conveyor system that we have going on here. Let me know what you think about this whole setup, and if you actually enjoyed it. If you did, guys, you know what to do. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next episode, and as always, thanks for watching.